We want to welcome our viewers from around the world. This is Legacy, Arriving Canada, your one-on-one talk show with Amaka Bekee. Today on the show, we have Vincent Zvikaramba. Hello, Vincent. You're welcome to the show.
Hi.
Please tell our viewers who you are and where you live.
My name is Vincent. Well, that's my English name, and I live in Toronto, but I'm originally from Zimbabwe.
Z-World. Okay, Vincent, what's your heritage? What do you identify as?
I don't know. I guess okay. My heritage is okay. I would say like I said, I'm from Zimbabwe, and I'm from a tribe of people called the Shona, and what I identify as, I don't know, that's kind of tricky question to answer. I guess that depends what you mean, but what I identify as an African, a Zimbabwean, Shona person, an immigrant living in Canada.
Okay, that's good enough. How long have you lived in Canada, Vincent?
So I arrived in 2014. So at this point, it's almost 7 years since I've been in, like 6.5 years at this point.
What was the first impression when you arrived Canada?
Um, I guess it's kind of tricky. It's been a long time since I've been here, but I guess I just felt a bit overwhelmed. I just come from one totally different place from one very different area of the world and then straight to another one. And everything was just new and confusing. I didn't know, I knew almost next to no one. Or I guess I'm lucky that I had a family friend, or I guess some family friends living here. So they helped with the process with getting adjusted. But even aside from that, it was still quite a lot. There was a lot to get to know, to adjust to, in like living in this entirely different country. So yeah, I
Wow.
guess confusing is the best word to summarize it.
So it's fair to say you were overwhelmed
Yeah,
in a
over,
good way, in a good way, so to
yeah,
speak.
absolutely, yeah.
What were your biggest challenges and how did you overcome them?
Um, I guess um, things just work differently. Like I guess the culture is very different from where I come from. I think one of the first things I noticed after a few weeks of being here is that everyone is always in a rush to go somewhere, and everyone, like along the street, everyone walks so quickly. Everyone is always busy, or they seem busy. They seem like they're lost in their own world, or like they just focused on getting somewhere.
Always have their ears plugged too.
Yeah, yeah,
So you couldn't
exactly.
say hi. You couldn't
Yeah,
make friends on the street like you could back home.
yeah, that's true. But then also, I guess with the changing times and the culture, it's not really as acceptable, to just come up to people and say hi. It's maybe in the era of like before smartphones, that's something you could do. But now, you know, like coming up to someone and just saying hi, depending on the context, might be seen as like harassment or, just being a bother. And also like you disturbing someone who's like concentrated on getting somewhere or like trying to get something done, you might be more of a hindrance to their day than be like having some joy.
That's
So
very true. Yeah,
so yeah,
relatable.
yeah, there was a lot to adjust to, but yeah. This is one of the bigger things I noticed. Yeah.
Well, you did.
Mm.
Has living in Canada been a blessing?
Um, I would say that yes, it has been a blessing. Now it's
More like a
uh,
trade-off?
yeah, it's kind of like a trade-off. Yeah, because of course there's some aspects of back home like in Zimbabwe, or like I guess just like a different place like in African countries, like things just work differently there. So I guess things, yeah, are a blessing, but in a different way. Like I don't like the fast culture per se, and like the whole thing of everyone being in a rush to get somewhere. There's a lot of things I guess I don't particularly like about the culture, but I guess it has been a blessing because I've met new people from lots of different countries, considering like how Toronto is an immigrant city. And I've
Quite
learned,
multicultural.
yeah, exactly. So, like I've gotten to dabble in like different kinds of cultures here and there, like learned new things from different places, met different kinds of people. And I guess that's been a blessing in a way.
Yeah. And the learning experience as well, because you learn
Yeah.
something different from
Yes,
your
absolutely.
culture. Have you embraced the Canadian culture in any ways? Do you have some rejects?
Again, I think that depends on what you mean by Canadian culture, because living in Toronto, it's, like it's an immigrant hotspot. So here there's, lots of different cultures all mixed in. And I guess you could say that's like part of the overall culture of Toronto. Um, but of course, if you go into like different cities, things are very different. Like there, it's mostly just people who've been living in Canada and not a lot of immigrants. So I guess in both ways, like like this immigrant hotspot mixture of cultures and also like the bigger Canadian culture as a whole, I've embraced most of it, I guess, or all of it. Well, most of it, I guess.
Any
Um,
favorite Canadian foods
I,
or
I
um,
guess,
carnivals,
I guess that's the thing. Like
activities?
it's yeah, that's the thing. Like you get to a point where it's like, what is Canadian? Because, for example, here in Toronto, there's lots of festivals, but from different cultures. So you've got like the
Hmm.
African, like you've got Caribana, which is like a Caribbean African kind of festival in the summer. And
Yeah.
then you've got a salsa dance, which occurs like here in Toronto in the summer as well, which is, I guess, it's I'm forgetting where it's from, but like I guess
Spanish?
yeah, Spanish, exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say like Toronto doesn't have like a specific culture, or maybe maybe it might be better to say like it's the culture is like embracing like all immigrant culture.
Yeah.
So I guess in that regard, yes, um, like I've assimilated, I've become part of this place. I understand like the culture and I've gotten to know it better. But of course, there's also everything. Like there's also like Canadian culture as well,
Hmm.
even though I don't personally think there's a lot of that. For example, there's I guess poutine, which is
Yeah.
like a
Do you
descent
like
from
Putin?
Canada. Yes, I love poutine. Yeah, yeah,
Wish I could
absolutely.
say that. It's
Well,
too rich for me.
I think
Some
it's good, but yeah, like
taste.
people are different,
Yeah.
and I guess I've still got a lot of things to learn, but like it's I think this is I guess I've been here for a while, but I think my journey is I guess it's not quite started, but it's like I'm partway through my journey. Like I haven't finished learning all the things I could learn.
I mean, I could say that too. And I've been here longer. How do you get your motivation? What keeps you grounded?
Um, I guess to answer both questions, I think family and friends are a big motivation, and they help me stay grounded. Um, I guess I like to. So my first name, actually, like not my English name, but my actual Shona Zimbabwean first name, it means blessings. And I guess I try to live my life like I'm being a blessing to others. So for
Mm,
me, being able to be there for friends and family, or being able to make a difference in their lives, that motivates me.
wow, that is deep.
And yeah, they also help keep me grounded as well, because everyone needs people. Like no one
Yep,
is an island,
yep.
especially.
And you get what you give.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So yeah, for me, just being able to be a blessing in other people's lives, make a difference, make a positive difference in theirs, that keeps me motivated, like for another day, and that also keeps me grounded as well.
Thank you, Vincent. What do you know now that you did not know previously?
Mm, I guess there's no single thing I could point out. Um, but I guess one of the few things I've learned is that people are really different. Not everyone is going to think the same way as you, or like the same things you do, or have the same interests, or like the same foods. But like again, that's fine. That's part of life. Everyone, as hard as it is to understand, sometimes everyone is a person on their own, living their own life with their own struggles, with
Mm,
they're just like you, but with different sets of problems.
customized.
Yeah, yeah. So of course you have to be. So of course you have to learn to be considerate of other people's interests, cultures, likes,
Mm,
thing, and try to find a way to exist with other people without, like imposing your will on other people, because not
that is
everyone's
that
gonna.
is profound. That is profound. And it's a word of wisdom.
Yeah.
So, Vincent, what's your school of thought? Your personal philosophy?
Um, that's I guess that's also tricky because I have a lot of beliefs and a lot of uh, thoughts about things. But I guess ultimately, everything I believe in boils down to, um, simply treating other people
Mm,
as humans, like treating other people as you would like them to treat. Like, of course, this isn't a new philosophy. Like, ultimately, everything that Jesus taught in the Bible, whether you ascribe to the beliefs of Christianity or not. And I think a lot of religions as well, ultimately, everything boils down to just being a good human being to everyone else around you. So I try to live my life that way, and I guess, to, okay. Sorry, what is the question again?
the question is, what's your school of thought? What school of thought do you come from? Your personal philosophy?
Hmm. Yeah, so I have a lot of, I guess I have a lot of beliefs and things I think, but ultimately it all boils down to being a good human being and just being good to others as well. Yeah, ultimately that's what everything boils down to. I try to advocate for, um, I guess, what's good for other people, what's good for everyone. I'd like to live in a world where everyone is just good to everyone else, where no one has to suffer, struggle, or yeah, things like that. Basically, I guess I don't like the world as it is. I'd like to make the world a better place.
Do bad people deserve this?
I mean, like that's a complicated question. Like that's like some deep. That comes down to like some deep philosophical questions. Like the sun shines on both the good and the bad. Like it rains on both the good and the bad. So I mean, it's complicated to say, do good people deserve bad things or do bad people deserve good things? Like, and of course we can go into discussion about all these things, but that'll take hours. So ultimately, regardless of whether people are good or bad, I just try to be good to them either ways, because maybe by you being good to someone who doesn't treat you as well, they might have a change of mind and see that maybe the way they're living the life, it can be different, or maybe it is quite the same. And of course, maybe they might not change, but I try to hold out for, I try to have hope in that I can persuade some people to be better people by being good to them, instead of like trying to lecture them into being good.
Wow, awesome. What's your advice to new immigrants to Canada or future immigrants to Canada? What would you advise them?
Um, hmm. Guess that's a tricky one as well. Um, I guess honestly, just be open-minded.
Mm,
There's, I guess it depends on where you live, but regardless, you have to be open-minded to learning new things, living new experiences. You shouldn't close yourself off to the world. Try to experience the culture in the place where you're living at, because I'm assuming like lots of people want to live here eventually after they enter the country. So you can't live your life in isolation. You have to get to know the people around you, the places around you, the things around you eventually. So yeah, just being open-minded, being open to learn new experiences and experience new things.
yeah, I agree. I concur to that. So describe Vincent in 2 words.
Uh, well, I guess I would say a blessing.
That's your name. Okay. Is that all? I said 2 words.
Yes, and a blessing.
Oh, okay. All right. Package deal. Are you ever nostalgic?
Nostalgic for what though? Like,
Homesick?
um, I mean, yes, I am homesick, but I also feel nostalgia for experiences I've had in this country as well. Maybe, like for example, I miss maybe my early days when I was in school, like
Mm,
meeting new people, still learning new things,
um,
and I guess I kind of miss being around lots of people learning different things. Like I'm nostalgic for that as well. But I also,
yeah. You're built for the schools.
yeah, but I guess I also do get homesick,
Mm,
and I found that, like, I guess different people deal with it in lots of different ways. Some people, they want to talk to people from home every day. They want to talk to people from home every day.
mm,
Like, I guess I've never been necessarily a person who needs people. But see, like I can go without seeing or talking to people for a while, and maybe sometimes that's off-putting to them. But ultimately, it doesn't mean I don't get homesick. It's just maybe I'm just not as expressive.
you're easily adjusted, or you're easily adjustable, right? Yeah, easily adjustable. So you adjust quickly and just let the past be in the past and focus on the future
Yeah, I
or
guess.
in the moment.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, Vincent, who is your biggest inspiration, your mentor?
I mean, honestly, I don't. Um, I guess that's not a question I think of a lot, and I don't really think I have a lot of people who inspire me. But I guess I'd say my dad.
Um,
Um,
Daddy, listen to that.
but like of course, no, I don't like everything he's done or everything he is, but I guess a lot of the times nowadays I think of times when I was a child, and of course, being an adult, you really see how tough it can be, like being a parent to people,
Mm.
or you don't have necessarily have to be a parent, but just being an adult with responsibilities, and also imagining that these people had to take care of kids
Oh,
as well, learning like how they were just learning all these things along the way. So um yeah, growing up, my dad was uh I guess really fun. Like I enjoyed spending time with him. Like we always did a lot of things together. And I guess of course growing up, that's not, of course, like grown a bit distant, but I still like to remember those times as a kid when life was good. I was having fun with my dad. Just yeah, I guess yeah, my
you're
dad.
getting emotional. I mean, I believe that one way or the other, that has actually molded who you are, and your would I say parental philosophies. I guess when you become one, if you're already one or not, I don't know. You probably make the best use of what's been handed down to you. That's great. Thank you, Daddy. What's the best advice you've ever been given, and by who?
Uh, I don't. To be honest, I don't know. Um, no, that's a true because like I don't really care for advice from people. No, like like I don't
That
care for.
is
I mean, like
shocking, and I've never
no,
heard something like that before. Okay,
no, I mean like I don't.
this is the first for everything.
No, like like I know some people like they like I know some people like getting like quotes from books, motivational quotes or anything, or like listening to like some famous people give advice, but I don't really care about any of that. Like um ultimately I guess um I mean I wouldn't know. I guess I wouldn't say I don't know if I don't remember who would have given me this advice, but yeah, just being a good person. And of course, good is that's sometimes something that's difficult to describe, but just treating people with respect, regardless of where they're from or what they do. Um, yeah.
That's beautiful, and that is absolutely right. What's your legacy, Vincent? What would you like to be remembered for when your time is done on Earth?
Uh, hmm. Uh, okay, so I mean, this is not something I've given a lot of thought. Um, I guess I don't care about being remembered by a lot of people. Like, I'm fine just being remembered by my family and friends. That's good enough for me. But I just like to be remembered as maybe someone who I just like to be remembered as someone who was there for people when I could and just did the best for them. So ultimately, I guess I just like to be remembered as being a blessing to people. Yeah.
And you have been, and I believe you will always be. Thank you very much, Vincent, for coming on the show and sharing your inspirational experiences. I hope we see you again on other segments in the near future. Thanks to our viewers for keeping up with us and for stopping by. Please like, comment with your questions, subscribe to our channel, and once again, thank you to Vincent and to our viewers. It's your favorite host, your amiable host, Amaka Bekee from Legacy One-on-One and Arriving Canada talk show. Goodbye.